If you tune into me, you know you're watching Gully TV. I got a very special guest this afternoon. This interview, I'm told this interview is going to raise a lot of eyebrows. It's historic and it's never been done before. For a long time, if you're a fan of the Diplomat's music, you often heard in the early recordings Dipset Taliban reference. You would hear that name often, and this gentleman before me is going to give us insight on the history of the collaboration between the two brands. Please introduce yourself, sir.
What's going on, Gully TV? What's up, y'all? My name is T Money the Icon. I'm from Harlem, and like he said, me and my cousin Luca Brazzy, we started that whole Taliban movement on 145th and Broadway. So,
okay,
you know.
First thing I want to ask you is give my viewers some history on the block 45th and Broadway. I always hear this block mentioned on a lot of songs from hip hop artists from Harlem. Tell my viewers the significance of this block and exactly what this block represented.
Okay, so that's not like the block I was born on or came up on or raised on. Mm-hmm. That's a block we started, I would say, like our good business side of things in the beginning. Like, so how we got to 45th and Broadway, again, my cousin Luca, he had a van up there, and we used to sell icebergs, sweaters, the long white tees. We started that whole movement. Yeah. Anybody will tell you, everybody had to come up to 45th and Broadway to get them long, stupid white tees. Yeah. Back then, niggas thought those was fire, but today, if you look at that shit, like, yo, that was crazy. Yeah. But we were selling icebergs, sweaters, t-shirts, mixtapes, and all that. And that's how we got to 45th. So in the beginning, me, my brother Edie Amin, rest in peace, my cousin Shay Five, and Luca. So we'd be up there all day selling t-shirts and iceberg sweaters. And the funny shit was, we was getting more money selling clothes than selling drugs. Right. You know what I mean? So that kind of like, we kind of phased the drug shit out because we was making, some days we'd be making like 7, 8, 9,000 a day. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, and plus niggas wanted to get out of the game. Now, don't get me fucked up. It was days in the drug game, niggas made way more than that. But to make that type of money legally, yeah, that's what I mean by we making more, because we actually going home to our families at 8 o'clock at night and don't gotta be on the block trapping. Right. So that's how we got to 45th and Broadway.
So in a nutshell, 45th and Broadway was like one of New York City's shopping districts.
No, that's a misconception. It is and it ain't. Okay. So 145th and Broadway is definitely a shopping area, and that'll bring the traction. But that's the underworld. If you know, you know. Yeah. It's a whole lot of everything going on up there, up and down, right, from the east side yeah, to the riverside. Okay. All of that's all day, every day. It's a lot of everything going on. So at the end of the day, that's what made that block crazy, because you gotta look at it, right? There's a whole lot of everything going on. Yeah. Then there's all the shopping. Then you got Copeland's, the restaurant, fire soul food restaurant. Right. And then you got us selling our bootleg shit and all that. Right. We just brought the flavor to the block. Yeah. You know, because it wasn't no niggas on the block. It's niggas that's from that block that go up and down. I'm talking about like literally hanging. It was really just Oyes up there. Yeah. So we was like the niggas. So when all the niggas came to the block to buy whatever they buy clothes or eat, yeah, they running into us.
So when you say Oyes, you're talking about Dominicans?
Dominicans and Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
And I don't mean that as no disrespect, because I'm half Puerto Rican. Right. But that's what we call them. We call them Oyes. Yeah. Oyes on Broadway. So if you know about Broadway, you know the whole Broadway is a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So when y'all took to this block to start merchandising, basically. Yes. This block was already active historically?
This block been active for years. Yeah. It's always going, that block is always going to be active.
Right. when did it start to become a really, really big thing? I started to see DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
The DVD guy, it was like the DVD guys at the time would go to this block, and you was almost guaranteed to run into some celebrity presence.
So I could say this, right? Before we got that block popping like that, it was a couple celebrities like Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather had the Ferrari iced out chain, he was coming up there, hanging with us, shooting a really bobo with us, pulling up in Ferraris, spending wild bread, getting out of there. Right. The funny thing about that is like I didn't know Floyd was so short. Like, and I told him, I said, he was mad short, but he was nice with his hands. And this one, he was pretty boy Floyd. Yeah. So like he used to come up there. Snoop used to come up there. That's how I met my man Big Fave from Insane in LA. Okay. That's my big brother. Shout out to Big Fave. I met Fave through them coming up there, Little Half Dead and all them. Fave actually took us out to Cali. Yeah. We was in Snoop House in Chino and all that. I met Uncle Junebug. I blew a L with Snoop. Right. You get what I'm saying? And that nigga had the gas mask and all that. Yeah. Like that shit with all Tupac and all them niggas drawing and all that on there. Yeah. Like I got up on there. Like I tagged up and all that. And like I said, rest in peace, Cash, Taj Mahal, Little Kiani, all of us, we went out there and we was with Big Fave and we did 3 songs with LT Houghton. Yeah. And like I said, we was hanging with Snoop and them. So
I just wanted to kind of like led into your rebuttal led into my next question. Share with us who the original Taliban was.
Okay, so the original Taliban is me, Luca, Edie, Shay 5, Jay Malice, Fo, Kenny Black, Kiani, Skibo Debo, it's a few more. I'm Ant Live. It's a few more, but like you gotta understand something, right? We all got our own blocks in our own area. So like when we started popping, like let's just say if it's 10 of us I just named, that's 10 of us with 10 different crews. Right. You get what I'm saying? So we had like a subsection.
I'm gonna ask you are based upon conversations I've had with people leading up to this. And I heard so much different shit.
Now we're gonna get into it. I ain't gonna hold back. All right. One thing I ain't gonna do, Gully, you can put that on camera. You ask me a question, I'm gonna give you the real answer. Yeah. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it unless I gotta protect somebody.
All right, so what you described to me, what I'm extracting from this is that the Taliban was a group of hustlers and almost trendsetters.
Right, but let me say this, right? The original Taliban is 5 members. Luca, me, Edie, Shay 5, and Kiani. That's it. Okay. Like, I kind of, those is niggas we fuck with and all that, but the original core, the Taliban, and then we all cousins. Okay. So it started, how I was raised, how we was raised, is family first. Absolutely. Me, my brother, and my cousins, we is the Taliban. Yeah. Everybody else, they Taliban, but they wasn't sitting at the table. At the table was me and Luca, if we're gonna be honest. Right. But then, you know, my brother and my cousin and my other cousin, they original Taliban too.
Was there some type of correlation between the Taliban and the Boost phones that came out at the time?
Hell yeah.
I told you I'm ready, man. Tell me why they came out of nowhere.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this is the thing, right? We started on, you asked me how we started on the 145th. Yeah. That's not how we ended. Okay. This is a long ride. Yeah. No homo. So at the end of the day, when we started, we were selling icebergs and all that. Then, like the movie I Got the Hook Up, we got the phones. Right. And we sold the whole, I ain't gonna say Harlem, we probably sold the whole East Coast phones. Yeah. Everybody was on that line. Yeah. The Boost Mobiles and the Nextels. Yeah. Man, and we even had 2 ways. Like yes, that's true.
So people could come to the block buy the phone and y'all could plug and put them right online, right up there on the strip?
They was buying the phones with the phones on.
Okay.
So you just, it's like a block.
Yeah.
$500.
How long was people rocking out with the phone line?
We was guaranteeing at least 2 months.
Yeah.
What made us so fire was that niggas was getting 90 days, 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
Niggas just wasn't getting turned off. This is when that shit started.
Right.
So, like, yeah, we had the block crazy. Like I said, that's just one other venture and all of that.
All right. One after another, I'm going to fire off these questions based on some insight that I've come across. Explain to me the origin of the word piff and how it relates to 45th and Broadway.
Okay. Well, piff is weed.
Okay.
But it's also, it's like fire weed.
All right.
So it could be used as, that's piff too, like that's fire.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So piff means the fire weed, but it also means like, yo, that's fire, that's mean.
No doubt.
You get what I'm saying? So Little Kiani came up with the word piff. And he made like a mixtape called The Piff.
Okay.
He had Uncasa, he had J.R. Rod, he had a bunch of the people that was around us on the mixtape. And that word just took off.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we went from that, and we even had that purple haze out there.
Yeah.
So we was calling it the piff. While everybody was saying purple haze, like, nah, we got that piff. We got that piff.
All right.
So that's how that started.
How much of a draw did the weed become on 45th? Because I heard that kind of like made the whole shit just, in addition to the clothes, I heard people was coming from everywhere to get the weed. So
yes,
explain that.
That's how we met. That's how we met Cameron and Jim.
All right. Through the piff, through the purple
We're gonna segue in. We're gonna segue in right.
Yeah. All right.
So with Cam and Jim, just with Cam had the 600 Mercedes. So he was still down with entertainment. So I ain't here to tell Cam's story. He could tell it himself.
Yeah.
But how we met them, they came up and they wasn't smoking that fire at the time.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And they knew that ain't no shot. They came up there looking for the fire.
Yeah.
And so me and Cam played ball as kids. So he didn't know nobody else. So he bought some smoke for them, let's just say Monday.
Yeah.
And they said, oh shit, this shit's fire. They come back up Tuesday to get more.
Yeah.
So niggas see me, oh shit, what's up, T-Money? Boom, boom. So I'm like, this is my family or whatever. He was like, yo, y'all niggas got fire up here. I'm like, yo, telling Luca, like, yo, that's family right there, whatever. Luca's the type of nigga that he might smoke 10 bags in a session. He roll up 10 blunts, and niggas is smoking them all right there. So he lit up like that for them. Yeah. So now we got a session, they up there, and niggas blew their mind. They highest they ever been at the time. Right. From that day on, niggas hung out every day. So it just became like that.
So they was coming back for weed is a social drug.
They probably ain't have to buy no more weed. At that time, they just come up there and niggas are Friday brains, easy, 5 blunts at a time. So now niggas' cars are just pulling up. Yeah. Cam out here, Jim out here. Right. Woo, woo, woo. And nigga, we met through reefer. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm about to tie the two things together. Mm-hmm. Before we go on, I need you to explain the Taliban's music aspirations, because based on my research, when y'all met Jim and Cam and them, there was already some guys that was amongst the Taliban that rapped, and y'all had a DVD going. And explain the rap music element of the 45th and Broadway landscape. It was even 45th and Broadway mixtapes, I believe, back then.
No, it was like it was 45th and Broadway mixtapes, but like, so let's start at the beginning. We didn't have aspirations. We actually had 3 artists that signed and put albums out.
So they were signed to the Taliban?
They were signed to Diplomats, but those was Taliban artists. Okay. So there wasn't no aspirations. They got signed. At the time, we didn't have a label set up. We was more street dudes doing street things, and our friends was in the music industry.
Right.
So we just married them together like that.
Okay,
like,
so some of the guys that was amongst the Taliban, you got them signed to Diplomat Records.
Yes.
Okay, explain the artist that you're speaking of, and I need you to explain how you acquired these guys. Okay. So go ahead.
It's Harlem, J.R. Ryder, and Uncasa.
All right.
Okay, so Harrell is from the Bronx, and he was down with some dudes, and that was like they artists. DFL, right. And shout out to them, because like that started a whole bunch of stuff, but at the end of the day, I kind of feel like Harrell came down there, he wanted to get with the Taliban, whatever. But them DFL niggas and my cousin grew up together. They like was childhood friends.
So these some Bronx guys.
They some Bronx dudes.
Okay.
Yeah, good dudes or whatever. But you know, I think in time, it's probably all good now. I don't really know, but niggas got into some shit over that.
Over rail.
Over rail.
It was like he left them to be with y'all.
I don't know to the full extent, because I think they had an agreement. Yeah. But I think rail just was wanting to be. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes when things like that happen, you gotta find out all three party story to really decipher what really happened. Right. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But I know Harrell got signed with the Taliban. Right. So J.R. Ryder, my man Puff, that's like man DC from Harlem. Yeah. That's one of his best friends. He brought J.R. Ryder up there, and J.R. Ryder just started rapping for us. Because how it happened is too, even Harrell went through this. Again, 45th Street has stages. Yeah. So now at this time, we was like the hip hop culture stomping ground. Yeah. Everybody's coming up there battle rapping. Yeah. They want to rap for us. Right. They really hoping Kim or Jim gonna pull up, but they fucking with us because now when they get up there and they see what type of niggas we is, they realize, oh shit, we was like superstars. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And at the end of the day, so it's like if you was coming for that, but then you got around us, more people gravitated to us. Like the shit just started becoming like 60 niggas, us is on the block. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Right. On some, this is just, and rappers is pulling up, artists pulling up, musicians is pulling up, niggas is shopping. So the shit became bigger than life. So J.R. Ryder came up there and battled somebody. He dropped the nigga in the oil, straight up. J.R. Ryder dropped the nigga right in the oil like a chicken wing. Boop, took him right out. So now niggas just trying to go at J.R. Ryder head. He done dropped 4 more pieces of chicken in the oil. He killed everybody. Right. Oh, you coming with us? Yeah, J.R. Ryder, you in? Yeah. His name was already J.R. Ryder when y'all met him? Yes. All right. So and he was young. J.R. Ryder was down. Uncasa was just, he came around. Uncasa probably had about 3 deals. Yeah. Like he always was talented and he always was in the mix. Right. So when Uncasa came around, the Groove Theory dude, Bryce Wilson, Uncasa was signed to him. Barry Hankerson. Exactly. Right. So when Uncasa came around, Uncasa was the big pot of grease. Okay. Everybody got thrown in the oil when Uncasa came around. I needed you to say this because I heard this. I heard it. So hold on. Go ahead. How Uncasa got around? Because he framed everybody. Yeah. He was the dude. Yeah. Uncasa was the big pot of grease. Right. So basically, when somebody came up on that block and wanted a battle, we sick and on him. Sick on him. He probably was 97-2 up there. Yeah. So there's some truth to him and Hellwell having a battle. Everybody battled them. Yeah. You had to go through the old mill. Yeah. And was the nigga with the bat, the chain, and the big Devo decking you. Yeah. Was the dude. He was flaming everything. Okay. Yes. So how did y'all present these 3 MCs to the diplomats? Uncasa, Hellrell, and J.R. Ryder. So what it was when we started hanging out every day or whatever. So that's when the single "What Mean the World of You" came out. Yeah. and we started going like, so now we hanging with Cam and them too. We going to industry parties, events, screenings, all that stupid shit. So we went to the video screening and all that. So now Cam is about to get out his deal. So now he fucking with Dame. He doing the whole Rockefeller shit. You know, they got out the deal. Niggas went up there, beat up the people in Sony. All that's true.
So that was true. That wasn't no exaggeration.
Hell no. Oh, no.
Was the Taliban with them?
Listen to me. Ain't nothing exaggerated if I got something to do with it. We don't do the exaggerating front and shit. Yeah, we was with them. He Cam and them said it. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when he got with Rockefeller and Dame, Cam was not only getting a solo artist deal, he was getting a record label. Because by that time, Cam knew the industry. Cam was never going to let the industry do that to him ever again. He's going to walk away the winner every time.
Right.
You feel me? So at the end of the day, now they presenting him with a deal for other artists. He's around us that got 3 flamethrowers, and he got Jewels and Jim. So that just created the brand. You get what I'm saying?
Got it. All right. So the Voltron happened between the Taliban and the Diplomat.
No. I'm moving too fast. No, I'm not moving too fast. You said how the Voltron happened. So at this time, Cam is signed. He's creating the album for Come Home With Me.
Okay.
He drops the Diplomat's mixtape.
Okay. So before we seen them on BET and all of that shit,
listen.
Go ahead.
The Diplomat mixtape.
Yeah.
Fucked everybody up. It changed the game. This is why the movement was so big and why they so revered. You got to understand something. The mixtape, Dipset, and then that created a whole vibe, like of the street music, and Hell Rail's on the mixtape. All of us on the mixtape.
Right.
So he's presenting his crew to the record label.
Yeah.
So like I said, that's how he was packaging everything, because he's getting a label deal.
Right.
So with Def Jam, Rockefeller. So anyway, long story short, when he got done with the mixtape, he dropped Come Home With Me. And imagine having a fire mixtape and then backing that up with a fire album.
Yeah.
So now, this is the boom. This is where everything changes.
Okay.
And it takes off.
All right. I need to ask you this before we go any further. What was Luca Brazzy's position in all of this? Because I seen on, I think it was might have been the Come Up DVD or Cocaine City. And he was up on 45th and Broadway, and he had the Taliban chain, and he was repping the Taliban. Explain his position in all of this, because I've seen him tell his story online, but just interject him into.
Luca is the boss
of
the Taliban. I was the underboss. I would say that, because that was his vision. That the Taliban is Luca's vision. That's something he put together, like with the artists, and position himself with Cam, and getting all that off the ground. So it's no Taliban without Luca.
Okay,
that's technically like his brand. His
Ain't
nobody higher than him on that thing, because like ain't nobody higher than me.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm telling you, that's what it is.
Okay.
You know?
I need you to give me some history on some of these stories that I heard about the Taliban. I heard about Scarface coming through, Lil Wayne, I believe, coming through. You mentioned Snoop Dogg. Explain some of the musical connections that was developed.
Okay. So if you was to sit here and ask me right now, who is my favorite MC or artist or rapper to be around, or like that I respected and all that. Of course, I would say Jewels, because me and Jewels was like a brotherhood. Like I was around Jewels the most,
right,
and was closest to Jewels. So that don't count.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's my brother.
Yeah.
Scarface.
Face. Okay.
Face in my eyes is a legend. He's top 5. He's that dude. He is what he say, and he say what he is.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So remember I told you about the 2-ways?
Yeah.
So Face come up there shopping or whatever. So we exchanged 2-way numbers and all that.
Yeah. Face
used to drink Armandale. Face come to 145th by himself. No security, no entourage, no label people. Nothing.
Yeah.
So how we first met, we went to the liquor store, got some Armandale. We drinking it. He out there on the block with us.
Yeah.
4 hours.
All right, hold on. So y'all chilling on the block and Scarface walk up on the fucking block like,
no,
can you recall him? He pulled up in a limousine, a tour bus. He got out of the car like
Scarface. We never saw Scarface car. Scarface would park his car up the block and walk down the hill. Right. This is in the beginning.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up? Yay yee. That's what he used to say. Yay yee. Yeah. Oh shit, what's up, Face? We call him Brad.
Yeah.
So he coming up, he shop, eat some Copeland's, sit with us out there and all that, blowing shit,
right,
drink the Armadale. So now people was out there, but ain't nobody gonna come up on Scarface and ask for no autograph or say no shit. He around us. Yeah. So he was good. Yeah. It wasn't no surprise or nothing like that. Everybody that was with us, the public treated them like they was normal.
No doubt.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you see the looks and the whispers amongst the whisperers. So now at this point, Face exchanged 2-ways with us. He'd text me literally. I'm getting on a plane from Houston. I'll be there in a couple hours. Yeah. And you want us to come get you something? No, I'll meet you up there. Meet us up there. He fucking with us all the time now. Right. When he went and did that song with J and B's, yeah, I was supposed to go downtown with him.
This can't be life, I think.
I was supposed to go with him. I had too much going on, so I ain't go.
Crazy.
And the realest, if you ask me who's the realest, Face is the realest. And I've been around a lot of real cats. Hands down. Like Face, I'm talking about humility, gangster, smart, humble, compassion, all that. Yeah. Face. That's a man right there. He on man time.
Is there some truth that when BMF was in their prime, they came up to the block on 45th? Was that
I don't remember that. I don't think that's true. It could be, but I wasn't there. So Scarface. Ask me some names. There's so many. I just can't even.
I think they said Scarface, Lil Wayne.
Oh, Lil Wayne for sure. Lil Wayne and Baby and them used to come up there shopping and all that. So we got a relationship with Lil Wayne. I got videos and all that when we did shows with Lil Wayne downtown and all that. Yeah. So we kind of got real cool and acquainted. My daughter and Lil Wayne's daughter was like 5 years old, 3 or 4 years old. I remember one time we was on the tour bus with my little daughter. She pulled out one of them Boost Bubbles. Yeah. And she on the phone. Nigga, Lil Wayne looked and said, "That little girl got a cell phone?" So she blows my mind. Nigga sent somebody and Wayne got his daughter a phone right there on the spot. Okay. So we went to New Orleans. They was on Taliban TV. We had a DVD out and all that. So we went to New Orleans, met them. Them niggas had Bentleys and all that. Pull up on us.
So when y'all would hit the road, y'all would take a couple MCs with y'all too?
No. This was straight us filming.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? But yeah, Lil Wayne. And hold on. Lil Wayne is another real one. I'm not going to sit here in front. Scarface is just like, if you ask me, I'm saying Face because that's just what it is. But Wayne is also, he in that bracket. My cousin, God rest in peace, Shay 5, may Allah grant you serenity. When Shay 5 passed away, Wayne posted him. And that broke the internet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Jim posted him, everybody posted him, but Wayne posted him. He ain't forget. We ain't seen Wayne in years. Yeah. You know,
he remembered.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I fuck with Capo, one of his best friends. Me and him still in contact, but we didn't see Wayne in years. And when Shay passed away, Wayne posted that. And if you go on Wayne, it's still up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a real one, and not just for that. Like I said, Wayne. We was on tour with Wayne and doing shows and all that, and that was just like off the love.
Okay. You mentioned 3 MCs. I need to know where A Mafia fit in this equation, because his name was associated with 45th too.
A Mafia is from up there. A Mafia, I think he was fucking with Shice Bub. So he's Shice Bub producer, if I'm not mistaken. I think
Mafia
he
was a producer?
I think he make beats too.
Okay.
But he rap.
Yeah.
But I think he fucked with Shice Bub. Because Unstar fucking with Shice Bub too.
Purple City
Bird Gang.
Yeah.
You know, Jim and Shice was cool or whatever. A Mafia is from that camp. Shice Bub is Taliban too.
Right.
He high ranking, like, you know what I mean? But he had his own thing going. But I'm just saying, like, Shice was a top dude too in the whole thing. And he's affiliated. He's in A Mafia is not Taliban though.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, affiliate.
He's affiliate. I mean, he ain't Taliban.
No,
that ain't no, you know what I mean? I don't know what I mean. He ain't have no paperwork with us or nothing.
I get it.
You get what I'm saying?
All right. One of the early, I think, Diplomat mixtapes was a picture of a bunch of guys with the minks on.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the picture I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's the Diplomat mixtape.
All right, that's the Diplomat. All right,
Yeah.
Explain to me the people who appeared in that picture and where that picture was taken and what it represented. It seemed like it was the bosses of the Diplomat Taliban or whatever.
It was the Diplomat. Only one from Taliban there was Luca. You know, I ain't make it that day. Like, I made it on the album cover, but I probably was busy handling some business. So it was Luca, Black Adon, K-Slay, Kim, Jewels, Jim, and they had to cut out a Freaky. Cause like a dotted line, like I think he was in jail or he was out of town.
Yeah.
So that's who was on the album cover. K-Slay was ushering us in with the mixtape shit because the deal wasn't set yet. So K-Slay, every crew had a DJ.
Right.
K-Slay was the Taliban and Diplomat DJ.
How much of a vital part did K-Slay play in the Diplomat Taliban movement being heard in New York City?
A big part. K-Slay is a big part of all this shit. You get what I'm saying? Because he was playing us on the radio, he was shouting us out, and that was growing our brand. And as you said, that'll just get more people over there.
Yeah.
And for us, all we just needed was more people over there. That was our hub. That's where we was eating at.
Yeah.
So the more people came, the more money we made. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We wasn't in the music industry like that and all that. We was like real street hustlers and all that.
Do you recall having any conflict for using the name Taliban at the time? I remember, I think it was in one of the magazines. Mm-hmm. Joel said he was young Muhammad Atta, something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you remember any heat that you guys received? Once being on 45th and Broadway and calling yourselves the Taliban is one thing, but once y'all started to become known, do you recall any friction about using that name?
Okay, so that story has layers, and it's like it's very nuanced. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you know who Muhammad Atta was?
Yeah, hell yeah.
The one who flew the plane into the building. Yeah. Building 1.
Fucking right.
So when Joel said that caused a hysteria, and that was, and we wasn't there yet. Yeah. So then Dame Dash said it. We got diplomats. We got state property. We got the Taliban. When the big homie said it, shit changed. Yeah. Yo, what is Taliban niggas? We changed it. We didn't change the name Taliban. We made it an acronym. Right. Take a look inside Black American neighborhoods. Right. Because we always want to be 10 steps ahead of the bullshit.
That was clever.
Right. Yeah. So, to answer your question, when it came, that's what we did. And it went right away. What could you say about that? Take a look inside Black American.
That was a hell of an acronym flip. Acronym flip. All right. I have to ask you this. Where did Taj Mahal fit in this equation? Based on DVD and my history, me knowing the history of the Taliban, Taj Mahal had some affiliation with the Taliban.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
All right, tell us Taj Mahal's place in this story.
Okay, so Taj Mahal is one of my peoples or whatever. He used to have the jerseys. This when jerseys came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taj was the type of dude that paint the sneakers a crazy color, but it looked like the factory did it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's coming up there with crazy color Air Force Ones with the home and away jerseys.
Yeah.
On one jersey.
Yeah.
Like the Boston green and white. Green and white.
He could get these joints stitched.
Yes.
All right.
So he's fucking niggas' heads up while he's up there because he wanted to sell them. But he was, at first, Taj came up there, yo, what's up, homie, whatever. And he's a slick talking fly nigga. So we start fucking with him or whatever, because we seen them jerseys.
Yeah.
We like, oh, nah, we gotta have those up here or whatever. So that's how Taj introduced himself to us. That's how he came on. And then, while he got the jerseys and all that, because I'm pretty sure he knew where he was going.
Yeah.
And, you know, because we didn't know he was a rapper.
Right.
He was a Brooklyn nigga that come up here, fly like that. So now, there's a time come where we set up Sparta,
right.
where everybody's out there rapping and all that. I'm about to bake a nigga.
Right.
He starts rapping.
Okay.
Taj dropped a few niggas in the oil. he dropped a few niggas in the oil, but his style was different.
Right.
So he started coming around. Listen to me. If you came up there and we accepted you, you was coming there every day.
No doubt.
That's what it was.
Something that stood out that you said was he was a Brooklyn nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some history on that. Is that your understanding of who he was and where he came from? Because he had some ties to, I believe, Syracuse, New York.
No. He's a Brooklyn dude. And one thing about us New Yorkers, New York City guys, we make another place our home.
Okay.
I could be in Harlem, and I was out in Charlottesville, Virginia. That was my hub.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like people was in DC, people was in upstate New York. So a lot of people go to Syracuse, Rochester, and Ithaca.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some dudes that be from the town and migrate up there, and they from up there now because they probably done got a girl, got a chick pregnant, met the homies and stuff like that. So yes, Taj do got top. He's from Syracuse. It's like he's a Syracuse dude, a Brooklyn dude that live in Syracuse.
Got it. Okay. How long did the diplomats and the Taliban have a run before things started to fragment? Because you could see, I'm a Diplomat fan. I'm pretty sure you know that. Watching the Diplomats on DVDs and keeping track of the music and shit like that, you started to watch. It was a time when it was a big conglomerate, bunch of fly niggas, like one of the top rap movements in history. They dominated the DVDs. The Dipset Eagle was as big as Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then you started to see things fragment. When did the Taliban and the Diplomats start to go in different directions?
Okay, so if I'm being 100% honest, I could give you what I heard, because this is the thing. Like I told you, it was a whole lot of everything going up there. I started on 45th Street with the icebergs and the mixtape and then the weed and all that. Then I graduated to doing what I normally do, what I'm known for.
Right.
Because the story is like this, right? We was up there, but we was up there as Morenos, as niggas, black people, whatever, right? So they didn't mess with us because we wasn't messing with their stuff. We selling clothes and all that. So it wasn't no issue with the
When you said they, you talking about the...
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It was never no friction because they liked us, like, oh, they out there. We bring in we're actually bringing more people. Like I said, the more people come up, so it was never no friction with us up there.
Right.
My grandmother came up there one day, and she's Puerto Rican. So she came up there to get some money from me. And when she gave me the money, when I gave her the money, and she gave me a hug and all that, one of the OGs of the Oyes came over and said, yo, who that? Like, it messed him up to see a full-blooded Spanish woman, Puerto Rican woman, come up there, get some money from me and give me a hug. And the way she was talking to me, he kind of knew. So he like, yo, I said, that's my grandmother. He like, what? Get out of here. So when I proved it to him or whatever, then he's, oh, you have Puerto Rican. So he's like, yo, why you not moving and shaking? Yeah. So I was like, yo, we doing this, that. And he said, man, I'll give you your own company. I went that direction. Right. And now I got everybody from Harlem, everybody's coming to see me. So I'm saying all that to say this is that I ended up getting leaving. I got locked up. So when I got locked up, that's when everything went bad. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? But if we being 100% honest, what destroyed the times being the Dipset, what destroys every crew: money, ego, position, power. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Right. See, it's like basketball. The center got to grab the rebounds and defend the rim. The power forward got to intimidate the opposition. The wing players got to get busy. Yeah. So what I'm saying that to say this is, sometimes when you get to a certain level, envy come in, or I want this position. I ain't saying I'm saying that whole thing is what messes up all crews. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So from what I know, because when I came home, it was bad. You know what I mean? We had a meeting on 125th Street. Luca called me, yo, these niggas. So me and Luca go, his pops, Cam, Big Joe, all them niggas. But it's not me, it's Luca and Cam. But we all brothers. We had a conversation on 125th Street, no fighting, no nothing. Yeah. It was a conversation. And niggas went their way. You get what I'm saying? Right. So, and niggas made it back also. So, it ain't like, oh, it just ended like that. Nah, niggas start fucking with each other. And right now, everybody good. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's what happened. One thing about me, I'm going to tell the truth. Because I ain't got nothing to worry about. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Plus the truth can't get nobody upset.
No doubt. Gotta respect the truth.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, so there was some disconnect, and guys gradually came back together and was able to make an amicable situation out of it. What do you think about the present state of the Diplomats? I want to start from the situation that happened in Madison Square Garden. Was you there? At the
I bought my ticket. I had my plane flight. I caught COVID.
Okay.
I ain't make it. Right. I watched that shit on my phone, probably on my TV, mad as a motherfucker. Yeah. Man, I just got this made for that. Right. I got this team made just to go to that event. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was tight.
Whoa. Me too. I was going for the Diplomats too. Yeah. Was you shocked the way things unfolded that night?
What? Listen, it's Harlem, brother. It's Harlem forever. It's Harlem today, it's Harlem yesterday, it's Harlem tomorrow. I'm never going against Harlem. Yeah. And it's a funny thing you say that, because one of my closest homies is from Mount Vernon. And we shoot the shit all the time. Shout out to my man World. Groovy Lou brother. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we shooting the shit. World is telling me, T-Money, they gonna drop him in that grease. He talk about the locks. And I'm like, fuck out of here. They don't got enough hits. They don't got enough big records. They don't got enough swag. I'm Harlem. I'm like this. I would have bet the house on the Diplomats. Right. That's how sure. But that's the thing, right? Being that sure of yourself, but not preparing yourself, is the biggest enemy to yourself. And I learned that because at the end of the day, they had to be feeling like how I was feeling.
Right.
We got this. We got this with our eyes closed. And that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you say? What did I think about that?
Yeah, what did you think? Yeah, I wanted to know, how did you think, what did you feel about the actual performance? I mean,
okay, I'm going to be honest with you, right? Number one, the Locks have been trained by Diddy Bop.
Yeah.
And they done did shows with Biggie, Mace, Puff.
Seasoned veterans.
Let me explain something to you, right? The money is in the show, in the tours, in the merch and all that. Yeah. That's where, if you good at that, you're going to eat.
Right.
If you could tour every day, you're going to eat. So they seasoned veterans in that they was with Puff. That's where the money came, them tours.
Yeah.
You know? So what I'm saying is this, right? The Diplomats was too sure of themselves because of the big records, because of the swag and the homage, and they came in there like that.
Right.
They came in there with the outfits, the jewelry, and thinking this is the big records. Like that's going to win it for us.
Right.
And like I said, they got obliterated because number one, these niggas got shows that they know how to do, and they came in there with fatigues on, sweatsuits. This shit ain't no game to us. They is hip hop.
Yeah.
Like the Diplomats is hip hop, but they is hip hop.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? They take that shit serious.
Very serious.
So at the end of the day, too cool.
Beach chairs.
Yeah, being too cool.
Yeah.
Not the 4 prior preparation prevents poor performance. The 5 P's.
Yeah.
Not that.
Yeah.
Too much emphasis on how they look.
Yeah.
And not together. They wasn't together at that verses.
Yeah.
They wasn't brothers. I'm talking about in arms. They was brothers for the check.
Yeah.
In that show.
So they hard.
It wasn't about they needed the money. They did it for the money.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is it could show y'all not brothers no more.
Yeah.
It showed.
No doubt.
And I hope they hear that and see that and could see, if I could see that and I'm your brother and I'm with y'all, what do you think the world saw? And then how it transpired to today.
Yeah.
So when you go back and look at shit like that, you'll realize they wasn't together.
Right.
They wasn't on no, if he lose this, I'm coming right there to take this shit over and boom, 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 boom. If they even felt like Jim jumped on Styles, Jada taking it over.
Yeah.
Nigga, I got this. Jada did that by herself, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
When he did that motherfucking
acapella joint.
Listen to me. When he did Who Shot Your Freestyle,
yeah.
The game is all Jada's. You pussy, he's a tick. Y'all over. That was it. When he did that, that was the uppercut that put you down in the 4th round,
right.
But you get back up, but you don't got your power no more. Your equilibrium is off.
Right.
When he did that, am I lying?
That was a turning point for sure.
Okay.
Do you think things would have been different had the Diplomats been included? Because sometimes
what you mean the Diplomats?
when I say that, I've seen them get on camera and in interviews and say the Diplomats is Jimmy, Jewels, Freaky Zeke, and Cameron.
That is the Diplomats.
Okay, that is the Diplomats. But to the fans,
you're saying
the Diplomats?
You're saying the Dipset?
Oh, I'm glad you broke that down.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it would have been different had the Dipset been included?
No. I've heard and I've listened to me. I love my brothers, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, it's hard. But what I'm not going to do is get up here and act like I didn't see what I saw.
Yeah.
I seen all them niggas say, yo, they should have brought us on. They should. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Jada was in rare form.
He was.
Listen to me. I don't think Jay or Nas would have got him that night.
He was in rare form.
That's the night you can't lose.
Yeah.
I don't think Jada or Nas would have got. I mean, I don't think Hove or Nas would have got Jada that night.
Yeah.
He was in rare form. You ever saw Purple Rain?
I did.
Did you see when the nigga with the glasses said, "Look at the kid, he's in rare form." When Prince was going crazy.
Yeah.
He was in rare form, brother. They ain't have a chance after that freestyle.
Yeah. He turned to Bruce Leroy that night.
He changed the beat, and that's just what it is. And nobody was getting up there. First of all, niggas, the Dipset, they got songs together. And all. They did. I don't like the playlist.
I hated it.
I hated the playlist.
Yeah.
See, they should have had a play. I think Kissing Them said, "We don't got no playlist. We gonna go off of their energy.
Yeah.
Whatever song they got, we got a song to match
it.
They went in there with a strategic plan. These niggas went there with a playlist kind of like, and it wasn't right. It was too choreographed, and the music was playing while Cam and them was rapping, and Kissing Them was
spitting
rapping, spitting live.
Yeah.
That's
big
another
difference.
thing.
Big difference.
The audio, you see what I'm saying? So it was a bunch of things that messed them up.
Right. Okay. I'm going to go back to the Diplomats, but since I have you here, I want to ask you about some Harlem history.
Mm-hmm.
You were around the whole time that they were the Diplomats, basically. Were you around during the period when Cam and Mace started to have their differences?
When Cam and Mace had their differences, no.
You weren't around?
That was the first album. I wasn't around them. I know Mace, I know Cam. Like I said, we played basketball and all that, but they was around each other. We wasn't around them when that album came out. We was around them for the second album.
Right.
When the second album dropped, that's when we got with Cam. That first album, when they was beefing and all that, we had nothing to do with that. We'd go to Allen Iverson party and see Mace and all that, and be fucking with Mace, and we see Mace more because that's at this time Mace was the big dog.
Yeah.
So we wasn't around for the Mace and Cam beef, but I know the history on it.
All right.
From like standing next to the people talking about it, so I know the history on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd like to ask you, were you around during the period when Mace had his differences? Because this ended up on hip hop, on a song.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Mace made a song called Same Niggas or something like that. Were you around during the period when Mace and Baby J from Lincoln had their differences?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Pop Lottie?
Yes.
Can you give
Pop Lottie was my man.
Could you give me anything on that topic without violating any codes?
Okay, well, a lot of the players is dead and all that, right? Yeah. So, Pop Lottie, let us know. Pop Lottie was running around like he is what they say his name was. You get what I'm saying? Pop Lottie was with Mace, so that whole thing was like, you know how he was messing with somebody's girl. Yeah. You get what I'm saying, baby mother, and some niggas wasn't. You get what I'm saying? I really don't be like talking on other people's politics, but that's just what it was. It was over a girl, and Pop Lottie was Mace man, and the dude was taking everybody chains. Yeah. You get what? Maine was taking everybody chains. Right. Maine was a made nigga. Like Maine's brand was called Made Nigga. Okay. Maine was fucking with a chick that was down with Jay-Z and them. So Maine used to have Rockefeller levers on before anybody had Rockefeller levers. He was getting that chicken. He had the big 500 bands on 20s. Nigga coming to the club with white mink on, white hat, all white, fucking them up. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was getting to that bag. He was a real nigga. Right. So he felt a type of way. And that's really as much as I can, because that's not my story to tell, but that's what happened. Okay. I can tell you what happened, but the nuances and intricacies of it, I wasn't around them to, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna make no shit up.
Got it. Okay. What do you think about the public disrespect and ongoing feud between Jim and Cam that's played out online?
You mean the public disrespect? I mean,
they disrespect
each other in public? Yeah. I don't like that. You know, I went through a similar situation like that, but not really in public like that. So I don't like that. And I believe that shit is listen, there's only two ways. They could really sit down by themselves and have a conversation, and when two people is willing to have a conversation, anything can happen.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If they willing to sit down and have a conversation and accept each other's wrong,
yeah,
that could be resolved. But then you gotta look at it like, I see both sides. Like as far as, when I say I see both sides, I mean like as far as like, not both sides of who right or who wrong.
Yeah.
You know, because I think Jim feel like if I was gonna ride on Mace for you, and then you get back with Mace, but me and Mace ain't get back cool, how does that dynamic work? You get what I'm saying?
I think it's a...
No, that's a part of it. Not the whole thing, but I'm talking about like, let's just say they started talking after all of the bullshit, because they done went through not speaking.
Right.
I'm saying like, that could be one of the reasons why Jim feel a certain type of way from.
I believe he does feel that.
You see what I'm saying?
Them guys was, I think it was high school
and then
basketball.
Cam
TV.
could say, I don't take none of our shit to the internet.
Yeah.
So when I say I could see both ways,
They both have taken it to the internet.
no, now I'm talking about in the like the I think it was the Funk Master Flex.
Yeah.
Then Cam did the live. So like, I don't like none of that shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's I think they should have a private conversation and talk like brothers,
Yeah.
and admit on whoever. Like if Jim say, yo, this is what made me feel a certain type of way, if Cam is wrong, he need to admit to it, and vice versa with Jim.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's what, if I had to say so with it, I'm sitting them down, locking them in, and y'all figure that shit out, B.
Right.
Or the other thing is, you know, like, yo, get that shit off your chest and then go smoke a blunt afterwards.
I think they probably should just go ahead and rumble and get over it.
Shoot 5 minutes and then smoke a blunt and have a drink afterwards.
Yeah, and just go ahead and live your life after
if y'all can't talk. Because
Yeah.
they really, let me explain something to you. They really was brothers. Jim Jones is on the song with Destiny Child. He's the first album.
Yeah.
He's on a song with Destiny Child.
I didn't know
He been there. Them niggas, listen to me, man. They need to fix that, but it ain't for me to, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Once, once shit hit the public, it kind of changed the dynamic of things. Like we seeing that the past couple of days with Papoose and Remy Ma.
Mm-hmm.
Once the shit hits the public, it adds a whole different...
I gotta say something about that, B.
I was gonna lead you into that. We gotta do some current events. We gotta do some current events.
We gotta do some current.
All right, so you following what's going on? It's messy, man.
Yo, now listen. I remember we did a show in Apollo, and I had like 2 ounces of hazel. Remember, used to be like, see, that's why I fucking hate y'all Taliban niggas. Y'all never want to share with me. She been on demon time.
Yeah.
Like, she been like that. So, but I very wrong in this one. I ain't feeling that whole shit.
I believe now that she's posting the pictures with the nigga, with the guy that she was a married woman. And it's essentially adultery. She disrespected their marriage vows, and she's posted the pictures now. So obviously she's very, very wrong. But I'd like to hear from you. How you feel about what's been going on the last 48 hours? It's been crazy.
Okay, the thing is this, right? I believe, like, for instance, right? If a man rape a woman, I'm sorry. If a man violate a woman and she don't, let's just say she don't get you locked up or nothing, you can't terrorize her now. You can't like be mad or like, okay, the the victimizer can't become the victim.
Definitely.
So what I mean by that is you cheated on that man. Forget, I don't know their history.
Yeah.
But let's start there, where this shit came to us at. See, a lot of people don't understand that, where y'all give us your life and then don't want us to have no opinion. It don't work that way.
Yeah.
So you can't cheat on that man, and then now he got somebody else, and he get a divorce, and now you airing all the dirty laundry out. And then he's airing all the dirt. That shit corny.
Yeah.
But I look at her like, yo, take the L and don't say nothing. That's how the shit go away.
Right.
Whatever's going on in their house, never supposed to hit the internet. Right, wrong, and different, because you know why? They share a daughter together.
Yeah.
So you shitting on her mother, you shitting on his father, her father. At the end of the day, you confusing her.
Yeah. And that content's not going nowhere. It's
But,
going to be online.
that's corny.
Yeah.
Whatever goes on in that house is supposed to stay in the house. Whatever y'all showed us, meaning we found out you was messing with this dude. That touched the airwaves.
Right.
So now you can't come back on the airwaves and try to make Papoose look whack. You can't do that. That's why I said I ain't feeling her on that. I don't need to know what happened inside their household. Nobody should know that.
Right.
Protect your daughter's feelings. Your daughter, let's just say when she's 5, 6, 7, 8 years old and she got to go to school and the kids is teasing her. So y'all care more about that than her mental health? That's corny to me. That's corny to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Terrible.
You know what it is. Iron Sheik, aka Abdullah the Butcher, aka Akbar the Rockstar, aka Warlord, aka Black Adam. Fresh out the South Bronx, fresh in the flesh, official tissue down to the bone bristle. Y'all now tapping in with Gully TV.
What's up? What's up? This is Royce the 5'9", and right now you checking out the notorious Gully TV. Don't go nowhere.
What's this whole thing with the hip hop culture busting down watches? Tell me exactly what happens when somebody start putting diamonds in a watch.
Oh, okay. Those are two different questions. In the hip hop culture, people start busting down diamonds, putting diamonds in watches because the watches that's factory is super expensive. And plus, a lot of watches just wasn't busting them down. Yeah. So with us, we ultra lavish. We like to put diamonds in things. We like diamonds everywhere, but we come from Africa. A lot of people don't understand our lineage.
That's in our lineage.
We had gold around our necks, gold in our nose, gold in our mouth, gold in our ears, 100,000 gold bracelets on and all that. So we need, gold is power to us. Yeah. So at the end of the day, in diamonds that come from Africa, so there's nothing wrong with us liking that. Yeah. That's actually our DNA. Yeah. DNA travel.
Extravagant.
You can take us from over there and put us over here. Our DNA is still our DNA. So we just wanted to make it more flamboyant. Right. So now, when you saying what's the difference is, if Rolex make a presidential Rolex, let's just say a 40 millimeter one at 46,000, right? And it's just that. The paperwork we're going to say presidential Rolex is like plain. I'm not saying that they work it like that. I'm saying it for the masses. If it's the paperwork in the card going to say it's just a presidential Rolex, plain, yellow gold. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Now, if the factory makes a presidential Rolex, all full diamonds, it's probably worth $1 million.
So Rolex actually makes
Rolex
with diamonds.
Yes, that's factory.
All right.
So a $36,000 watch, if they make it, it's worth $1 million. So now, if I'm the jeweler, somebody come and bring me their Rolex with nothing on it, and I put diamonds in it, the card ain't gonna say it don't have diamonds in it, so it's not factory. So I fucked the watch up because they won't even service it no more. That's not the watch we sold.
So Rolex won't even repair
it. No.
Once you put diamonds in it, that's it?
Remember when Hope said that? That's the truth. Those ain't Rolex diamonds.
What
Fuck
the fuck
you done
you done
that?
that?
You fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So a factory full bust down,
Yeah.
like you only see certain cats with factory bust downs.
Right.
Floyd and all them, Drake and all them. Like those is niggas that got factory bust downs.
Yeah.
Everybody else, the jeweler made that.
Tell me what type of conversations or the types of people you've met based on the watch on your wrist.
Oh man, I've had conversations with the head East Coast banker Chase, like the guy that runs all East Coast bankers, the whole East Coast division. I done had conversations with him about watches, cigars, and bourbon.
Yeah.
We like literally in meetings talking and all that like that. I'm a private client.
Yeah.
So like private clients, they get to meet all these people and talk. So that's when you bring out the nice watch and all that. Watches is a conversation piece of the people that know.
The most affluent.
Right.
Yeah.
So remember I told you, like I said, I want that Vashimar Constantine?
Yeah.
So now I put that on, and let's just say I go out or whatever. A nigga like Hove could see me as, that's a watch nigga right there.
Yeah.
He different. He got that Constantine on.
Yeah.
He's gonna know that. Other niggas ain't gonna know what it is. It's just gonna look like a gold watch to them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how it's a conversation piece.
So out of all of the, let's say assets,
Mm-hmm.
houses, jewelry, where does the watch sit as far as relevance?
Oh, so it's what you value
Yeah.
as a man, right? My house is my number one asset is my children. That's number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
My wife, my house, because that's where we live at and all that.
Yeah.
It don't got nothing to do with value of money.
Right.
My number one asset is my house. This is where I gotta come in, watch TV, raise my kids, and be a father and dad. So that's like my number one asset. Watches is material, and I'm gonna tell you a story. I went to Dubai in 2023. So this is kind of why I feel the way I feel today. Me and my wife, we stopped in Paris for 2 days. We in Paris, drinking, eating, going to the Louvre, taking pictures with the Mona Lisa, all this crazy stuff.
So it's the Louvre. Only a few of us know what that is.
Right. So we gets on a plane. We got on chinchillas. She got on big 12-carat diamond rings. I got on Rolex, Christian Dior outfits. We gets on a plane, so we get on that night. We like, yo, we gonna land in Dubai in the morning.
Yeah.
We both take a Ambien.
Yeah.
So we gonna knock out. We was having fun in Paris and all that. We both take Ambiens. I got my Louis Vuitton knapsack up on over us, right? I got all my watch. I got 3 bust downs, a Richie. I got fucking Prezi, Paddock, a Cartier nail, link bracelets and all that, right? We go to sleep. Somebody robbed my bag. They took like $600 worth of shit. They took bust down, all gold, rose gold Prezi, bust down.
Yeah.
Not the factory though.
Yeah.
The nigga wanted,
Right.
It's worth like 60. Bust down, Date Just, bust down, Yachtmaster, Rich and Millie, 20,000 in cash. I had the Cartier bracelet, the big one, the June Coon Bloom,
Yeah.
300.
Yeah.
They took that. My bracelet, cheap Hermes bracelet. They got me all that, but them niggas left the plain James. I had travel watch cases.
Yeah.
The niggas took the bust downs and they must have knew.
So they left the real
I went
value.
to Dubai with like 9 watches.
Yeah.
I was out there for 2 weeks. We was out there styling.
Yeah.
It was on my birthday, my nigga.
Right.
This happened to me on my birthday. I wake up to go transfer the money. The money is gone. I'm not even thinking. I closed my book bag. Said, yo, oh shit. check for the thing. They left regular plain Prezi, Paddock,
Yeah.
a Hublot, and this T was.
So they basically they left the most valuable
They
shit.
left the valuable shit and took exactly.
Right.
So not knowing. So to prove your point, yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
I want you to tell my viewers how they can get up with Icon Jewelers, probably get them some work done.
Mhm.
I appreciate you for sitting down with me,
Yeah.
man. This has been really, really informative. And I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. I got a Instagram, Icon Jewelers, but you can go to T Money the Icon TMONEYTHEICON at Instagram, and all my stuff is up there, whatever. And yeah, like I said, I make bespoke jewelry and whatever you want, I can make. Like it's no budget, but I'll say this, like I say to people all the time, good jewelry ain't cheap, and cheap jewelry ain't good.
Facts.
So you go with that. You take that for however. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
Or
I really appreciate the time. Again, thanks a lot.
one thing I want you, if you want to know what happened to me, like you know what I mean, because that's a story in itself too.
I'm doing it on the boat.
What up? Heard the voice, saw the face, made the choice. Young Money Militia Gang Zone, Corey Guns, and you watching Dribble. Gully TV. Let's get it.